Thanks everybody for joining us. I'm Samantha Quinn. I work for the Pacific Ocean Energy Trust and am the PI on the UMERC program, University Marine Energy Research Community. Really happy to see everyone here today. Like I was saying before, we know there's a lot of other things going on today, like the NREL instrumentation workshop. So we appreciate you guys joining our workshop, and we will be recording this and we will be sharing it later for anyone who has missed it. So here we go. Feel free to drop any questions in the chat. We will have a Q&A session at the end, but I am also happy to answer questions throughout. We are going to be using Menti, which if you have joined us before, we have used. So I just put the link in the chat, and I will be sharing my screen, and you can always find the link up here. So we will get started. Today I have with me Shayna Hirsch and Erin Franco. They're both working on the project. And so we're gonna kind of be leading this together, different areas. And so again, let us know if you have any questions, and we will be monitoring the chat box, and we'll have a Q&A later. And Erin, if you could just monitor the chat box, and if there's any questions that I can't see, just feel free to interrupt me. So here we go. So this is the agenda for today. We're just going to review kind of what we've done so far in the other two workshops. This again is the third and final workshop of this series. And so we're really excited to show you what we've done. Everything's not done right yet, but we've made a lot of progress, and we're excited to share that with you all and hopefully get you all engaged and engaged in the process of making updates and just making this something that you all will use. Oh, hold on. Sorry, forgot to go through the rest of the agenda. Then we're going to debut the landscape. Again, this is an iterative process that we're working through. And so what we're going to show you today is kind of where the landscape is today. We are still working on some of the back end design and stuff like that. And so we're still making updates. Work with us on that, but we really wanted to show you kind of what we've been working on. And then we get to explore the community portal and hopefully get everyone signed up. We're really excited about this. We're hoping that this is a tool for everyone to use, and think that there's some great capabilities available for everyone. And if you hear my dog, he is snoring right now, so apologies. And then we have a few other announcements that we're excited about. So we will get to those. We'll wait till the end on those and make you stay. So Shayna, I think this is you.
Hey, great. Hi, everyone. My name's Shayna Hirsch. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a research scientist in the Department of Human-Centered Design and Engineering at the University of Washington. I'm also an associate director of the Pacific Marine Energy Center. So it's great to see some familiar faces here today from some of our previous workshops. And what I wanted to do was just kind of roll the timeline back a little bit and just remind everyone of what this process has been, because we've been working on this since late last year, and this has been an iterative process, as Sam had said, where this is the third and final workshop in creating the landscape, the research landscape with the research community itself. So I just wanted to give a little refresher. Sorry if this is repeat if you were at one of our previous workshops, but on kind of what human-centered design is. Next slide. So the general principles of human-centered design mean that we're looking to the users and to the people who are actually out in the field as being the experts. The idea was not to have, myself or Sam come in and say, this is what the landscape is. We wanted to try to understand what the research community needed and what was going on in the research community from the research community itself. The process, as we've said, is also iterative. This means that we're going to be, continuing to update the landscape as we get feedback from everybody. And we really want to make sure that you all understand that we're a really open organization here. And the whole entire point of this is to get feedback from everybody on what we've ended up with. What we're going to present to you today is not the end. We never really get to the end. We're always updating as we go. Also, one of the tricky things with human-centered design is you have to be okay not knowing the answer. So some of you experienced this, especially if you were in some of our earlier workshops, in especially the second series. We had some really messy boards, and we were really digging into some stuff that there was no right answer. None of us knew the answer, but that was okay. And we really came up with some great ideas that way. And the whole point is to just kind of create a space where there's no rules and there's no real there's no answer, so we can dream big and we can kind of create possibilities that might not have been previously conceived. Next slide. So here's the process. It's a roller coaster, right? So we're kind of converging and diverging. Some of you, I'm sure you've all been parts of organizations where you've kind of had storming and norming sessions. This is kind of similar to that. But again, keeping the human-centered design principles in mind, we're just kind of trying to make a space for ideas to come out and trying to be open to other people's opinions and new ideas. Next slide. So just to take you back a little bit, the first workshop, we started out with this, and this was a list compiled of all of the research areas that we found in other research roadmaps and other documents that we gathered from previous attempts at making a research landscape in other marine energy communities around the world. So this was something that we gathered. We tried to gather all of the ideas from those previous landscapes so that we weren't starting from ground zero. So this is what we presented to the group in the first workshop. Next slide. Then we had our second series of workshops where we had 3 different 2-hour group meetings where we actually we dug into this board on Miro, which actually ended up being a great application for us to use, where everybody could kind of dig in and move these different categories around, put comments, identify gaps, identify challenges in the research area, draw arrows between them. And we ended up with 3 of these really messy boards, which are like a beautiful mess to a human-centered designer. It's wonderful to have all of these ideas kind of out there on the table. So this was actually a really exciting thing. This would be something that we would normally do all together in a room at a conference or something, with a big, pile of snacks. But it worked out pretty well to do it virtually, and we were able to gather a lot of ideas that maybe we wouldn't have normally been able to have from other parts of the community. Next slide. So then Sam, Aaron, and I took all of the feedbacks and ideas from those 3 boards, and we sat down over several hours and we dug into those ideas that the community expressed. We tried to capture them all. We tried to pull out different categories that we maybe had missed. We tried to pull out different connections and challenges and gaps. And we tried to organize them in a way that we thought might make sense to the community. So these were some of the early concepts that we came up with, and then also a later concept diagram, which is the one on the left there, that we're currently trying to move into the portal and the research landscape, which Aaron and Sam are going to talk more about. So this is kind of the journey that we've been on so far. And the next one, next slide. Okay, so here you get to use Menti if you would like to. And it's a pop quiz. Where do you think we are right now today in this session on this human-centered design process roller coaster? And I believe you're going to be able to just drop a pin on here if you're in Menti. And just to say, there's no right or wrong answer here. There's maybe several right answers. This is great. Yeah, so I think you're right. We're in the middle of this roller coaster right here. We're converging, we're in this ideation phase, and we're trying to move into implementation. This might be a space right now where we're kind of testing down at the bottom. We're trying to understand whether or not our research landscape makes sense to the community, whether or not we've included everybody, and we want to get your feedback on this. So we're going to be going around and around this roller coaster. Thank you.
So this is kind of where we are now. We've taken all of the ideas from the past workshops. You saw let me go back a couple. This graphic, and then we've tried to make it something that's a little bit nicer to look at. One thing I did want to say on this is that it was really interesting that we came up with these kind of challenge areas, and they really match the challenge areas that that came out in the Marine Energy Council commercialization strategy, as well as some of the DOE documents. So it's interesting that through different avenues, we kind of all found the same challenge areas, which I think is actually a good thing. So yeah, we took this and we are now moving towards this. And Aaron, I'm going to switch over to you. I'll share the research landscape so that people can see kind of how dynamic it is. Let me pull it up. So this is what you will see when you go to the UMERC page now. So Aaron, do you want to talk about this?
Sure. Yeah, you can view this at landscape.umerc-us.org just as a subdomain of our site. And you will be able to use several different lenses to view information about the different areas in the landscape. And anything you hover over that's in color will pop up a text box that tells you more about that particular item, depending on which lens you have selected. So go ahead and select, say, people, Sam. And you'll see the color bars on the sides will change to show you that you're in the people lens right now. And when you would select something, you would see information about the people involved in this. Even further than that, we're working on all of this really, but one of the things we're working on is being able to say you're in the people lens and you click on a wave energy converter. You'll be able to view people in the community portal that we're going to get to later who are working on wave energy converters, for example. So this will all be integrated with our community portal and information, with the goal of giving you information first, but also connecting you with people so you can take some actions on the things that you're learning. We have a wildlife lens as well, because that's a vital part. And again, 3 lenses, 4 lenses, however many lenses, we can add a lens, we can edit the existing lenses. This is iterative, like Sam and Shayna have said. We need your input to make this the best it can possibly be. Can you shrink the width of the window, Sam? I wanted to make sure that you all got to see that it's a responsive design too. So not the height, but the width. You just slide the, keep going. If you're on, say, mobile, the elements will shift and reposition to accommodate a portrait landscape so that you can still get information about this, whether you're on your phone or whether you're on your computer. The analytics we've seen show that most people will be looking at this on their computers, but definitely mobile is something we don't want to ignore. So yeah.
Great, thanks, Erin. And so basically what we're in the process of doing is you'll see that when I hover, it's the dummy text is what I call it. And we are in the process. We have our developer working on it basically as we speak, except we hope that he's not working on it right now so that there won't be any glitches. But we are in the process of basically taking what we came up with in here and adding the research areas and then their sub areas and kind of the challenges into those boxes so that you can see here it like that there's materials and structures topic area. There's an electrical topic area, stuff like that. And then as Erin said, once we get people into the portal and people start signing up and kind of identifying their research areas, then we'll be able to create groups within the portal that we will then be able to, if you want to find like people working on that information or on those topic areas, then you'll be able to click on there and it'll bring you to a group and you'll have to be signed in to get into the group and whatnot. But it's so that we have kind of the public facing information that'll give you just, you know, high level information. And then you can, once you sign into the portal and become a member of the community, then you can dive deeper and get connected with people working in those areas. So we're really excited about it. Again, it is an iterative thing. And as you can see, it's not quite finished, but we did want to show you what we've been working on and kind of why we went through all of those steps in the previous workshops to make those crazy boards, and then how we came up with kind of the visual research landscape. We will be putting in the we can put this in here, or sorry, into the portal to kind of show people how we got to the research landscape. I think that that'll be helpful for people. It'll also help us. You'll see once we get into the portal that we'll be asking for feedback on what's missing. What did we leave out? You know, we know not everybody was able to join the workshops previously. And so we know things are going to be missing. And we're okay with that, but we do want you guys to help us build that out further. So we will keep going. Maybe. Oh, sorry. Sometimes Menti does weird things. So let's explore the community portal. And so I am going to put in maybe sorry, I'm just getting you what is umerc.edu, Erin?
Sorry
Here
about
is the
I'm
sign in
on my
link.
mind.
So here's the sign in link for everyone. And then what I am going to do is I'm just going to run through it on my computer as well. So if everyone wants to start signing in, that would be great. Can you still see my screen? Okay, great. So basically, this is the portal. You will see when you sign in, go to sign in. Let me log out so that you can see what we're doing. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. Anyway, you will be asked a series of questions. They will auto-populate into your portfolio or your profile. When you sign up. So if people want to start signing up using the link in the chat, that would be awesome. And we can get you signed up right now. But as you do that, I will just kind of show you what the portal, what the capabilities are. We're really excited about this. So once you sign in, you will be dropped to kind of the live feed. So this is kind of like a Facebook feed almost, but we hope that it's used more for ideas and sharing information about your research and stuff like that. So we do have that. So you'll see that I added a project that I'm working on, which is great because then you can show like the teamer program that I'm working on. That's something for everyone. That's something that developers, different facilities, many people could all be involved in. And so I'm happy that everyone's able to see that information. You'll see that I also added a job posting. So you'll be able to find under job postings, different postings from different companies. So I believe as a user, you can put postings. If not, if you have any job openings, you can always send them to us and we can put them in here. But we want this to be kind of a robust place where people can look for pretty much anything that they need. So then the other cool thing is here are all the users currently. In here, you'll be able to type in and search for a name or a keyword. You can also use more filters. So you can look for somebody that went to a certain school. You can look for you can look at everybody who's working in wave energy or everyone who's working in tidal. You can or offshore wind and whatnot, and then research areas. So basically, these are those high level areas that we came up with in the landscape workshops, and then you can have like a sub area. So if I do workforce development and then I want to look at somebody who's also working in higher education, right now there's 0 users working in those areas, but then I could filter for that. So it's really robust. We'll probably keep adding more fields that you can search from as we go and as more people fill out information. You can also look at this map, which is I think very cool. So you can see who's working on stuff in your area. So as you can see, there's a lot of us in the Pacific Northwest, mostly our project team. We have somebody working in Colorado right now, and then the platform company is in New York. So as we get more and more users, you'll be able to find people all around the US and hopefully eventually all around the world. Events. So events, you'll see that this is in here. So we can set up a really robust event. So we can set something up that has all of the registration and like the Zoom links and everything like that. But then as a user, you can also set up an event. So if you have something going on at your university or your institution that you want other people to know about, you can put an event in here. It won't be as, you won't be able to provide as much information, but you'll still let people know about it. And then if there is something that you want to be more of like a UMERC or a larger event, you can always reach out to us and we can help you post it as well. The media center, so this is kind of for us to be able to post. We'll be able to post. You can see that somebody posted the link to one of our, I think our first workshop. So you can just go on here and find that if you wanted to go rewatch it because you were, so curious and just love watching us talk. And so we will have links. You can put all different kinds of links in here, and we'll have links to everything that we have on Primer. And yeah, so that's, again, something very robust. Then there are forums. You can start a discussion as a user. You'll see I started a discussion that says, did we miss something? And we hope that as you explore the portal, you will start kind of adding comments to this, saying like, can you add this research area, or this is missing. So yeah, then we'll take that feedback and we will use it to make updates. If you want to discuss a project that you're working on, or you have a question about something, feel free to start a forum. And the cool thing is that you can notify different groups. So if you had a question about something that you're working on in wave energy, you can then you could target it toward a specific group, all of the people who have selected wave as their resource type, or if you have somebody, if you're working and you have a question about sharing data, you could put in data, and you could target everyone who's working on like data sharing or data management. So and so then they would be notified that there's a new forum. So Aaron's approving requests as they come in, and saying that you'll receive an approval email that will allow you to activate your account. And you may have to check your spam folder, hopefully not, but we know that some things go to spam. So as we get more people involved in UMERC and signed up for the portal, we want to create different groups. I believe that this is something that we have to do as admins, but if you want to have a moorings and an anchoring group, we can create that. That is a place specifically for moorings and anchoring research, and so then yeah, so then we can create a specific group for that, and you can have your own kind of discussions and stuff in there. News, again, we can add new things that are coming out. We'll be having, so let's say they just came out with the NYPP for at DOE. We could put that as a news link with the article that came out with that. Just kind of things that are happening within the community and stuff like that. So again, we have job postings. You can publish an opportunity. Some of them they ask for a lot of information. You don't have to fill out everything, and you can put the external link, which makes it a lot easier to just link to wherever the posting is. But and you don't have to put, you know, the photo and whatnot. But I would just, obviously they do have required fields, so just make sure. But as everyone knows, the more information, the better. So and again, if you want to, you can notify specific groups, specific people working on different things. So this is a cool area. Projects. So again, I set up one for Teamer, which is a project that we're working on that we really want to let everyone know that it's happening. The more people that we disseminate information to, the better. I think you have the ability to post your own project. If not, we can post your project, just let me know. But it's a cool way to just kind of give an overview and provide more information about it. And people can ask questions. There's links to all of our different social media pages. I know that we'll be posting one for a new project that's being funded by DOE soon. So hopefully we can populate this with a bunch of different projects that are going on. Again, that'll help people understand what is actually happening as far as research in an effort to duplicate, or to reduce duplication of research, and to highlight people's capabilities and who, you know, you might be able to collaborate with, or if you have a question about that or are working on something similar, you can go and contact them. So portfolios, that's for you to, yeah, Dan just updated his company website. So that's great. And you can create.
Yeah, I have no idea why I put in our company website and it showed the Launch Alaska logo.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that is not our website, but
yeah.
the link is correct though. So I don't know.
That's bizarre. We can figure that out.
No
Thanks
worries.
for doing it though, Dan.
Yep.
So you can put up files if you want to share information with people, if you want to share paper with people or whatever. You can create a folder, you can create files, you can create links, you can put an article. So there's many different things that you can do. And then we have the About UMERC page, which hopefully you've all seen. The other things that we do, you can share your location if you wanted. If you're going to, let's say, Water Power Week, I could share that I'm going to Water Power Week, and it would move my location from Oregon to Washington, DC. The other cool thing is that you can direct message people. So if I go to people, so you can do it up here. Otherwise, if I went to Shayna's profile, or down there, you can see, I can send a message, or I could send a message through here, and I could start conversation. I could select Shayna and then say hello. So so again, if you want to directly contact somebody saying like, hey, I found your research really interesting, I would really love to find a way to collaborate, that's a way to directly do it. So that is the portal in a nutshell. Does anyone have any questions? I know that is that's a lot to take in. But we really hope that you guys use it. And we do have some other questions. If I can get back to, not that. Oh, here's Menti. So the results are going to be hidden on this, but we really want to get some feedback on how you expect to use the portal, or how you want to use the portal. Did you see that, Erin? And so if you could, again, go into Menti and fill out that question, that would be awesome. So then we'll be able to go look at the feedback that we get from you all and take that into account whenever we're working on things. So we'll give you a couple minutes to fill this out. And
Yeah, or if anyone just wants to chime in.
yeah, or feel free to chat too. This is, I don't want this to just be us talking. Or if you have any questions about anything.
I just wanted, I know it's us again talking, but I did wanted to say something about the user portal that I'm kind of excited about. I've been a little disillusioned with Facebook and some other social media lately, and this is kind of a social media that would be just for you and would have a really direct purpose. And so I'm excited about that as an alternative to some of the other social media that's out there. That maybe it's maybe just not for me anymore, and that's okay. It's not, nothing is for everyone. So I really hope that people can get some good use out of this site and connecting with each other and sharing their work, and I'm excited about it. So I hope you all are too.
And I think one of the things that we've talked in length about just as a team is that we don't want to make this just like another thing that people have to populate. And so you'll see in your profile and everything, you have your links to Google Scholar and Orchid ID and stuff like that. And so hopefully it's not too much extra work as far as populating that information, and hopefully it'll drive more people to some of your papers and stuff like that.
I have a question, if I may.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful thing you're doing, connecting all the universities involved in marine energy research. As an innovator, I can see that would have tremendous use for me to connect with people that I need to connect with to get some research started or this and that. And I just want to be sure that that's what it's intended for, also for innovators to come and connect.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to ask people from industry to also join the network as well. We're not leaving anyone out because we do really want industry to be able to see what researchers are working on and vice versa, in an effort to try to get people to talk more and for hopefully the industry to be, for them to identify kind of the needs of now and in the future, so that we can hopefully move towards commercialization overall. Yeah.
Could I throw one thing out to the assembled group? The reason I'm on the workshop today is that I'm developing a new hydrokinetic turbine for terrestrial waterways and new stream reaches, etc. And I've been involved for the last year in a phase 1 DOE SBIR. And my collaborator has been Dr. Craig Hill at the University of Minnesota in Duluth, and he's been absolutely wonderful. But he informed me just yesterday, beware the Ides of March, that for unforeseen circumstances, he's not going to be able to collaborate on our phase 2. And so I'm seeking another university collaborator, hopefully at the Harris Hydro Lab at the University of Washington, but someone else at a university that I can collaborate with on a phase 2, which of course involves testing and flume tests and numerical simulations and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm seeking any and all contacts, and I'm going to be chatting with Shayna later to discuss this issue. But if anyone else who's listening to this has any ideas or connections that you could send my way, I would much appreciate it. I need a new collaborator.
Great. And so that's a great example of how you can use the portal. Hopefully, you know, obviously we're just getting people signed up for it, but hopefully in the future, you could say, I'm looking for a collaborator. You could start a forum or even just write a post, and people will hopefully be able to reach out to you. So that's a great example.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. So I'm going to move forward just because we just looking at the time. So I guess this is a kind of follow on from the other question. What can we do to make the portal useful to you as a researcher? So again, if there's things that you think might be missing that we can add, we would love to hear that. And we do, I know that you haven't had time to explore it fully yet, and so I'm super aware of that. But if there are things that you know, and maybe they're already there, maybe they're not. But if you have any ideas or anything like that about how we can make it useful to you, that is why we're here, and that's why we're having this this workshop and have created this portal. So feel free to put them in the Menti, or feel free to have a chat. We'll give a few minutes. I think I did have a question on Menti, but I set it up incorrectly. Are people excited about this? Like, raise your hand if you're somewhat excited or looking forward to this. Hopefully we're not just doing this to cover our, make sure that we get through our SOPA with DOE.
Yeah, I think one of the keys to the success of this platform is going to be, creating something that people use and getting to a threshold of users that are engaged with it. So we're going to be doing a lot of work to try to get people signed up and involved in the UMERC website, but definitely spread the word around to people that you know, and tell them about how wonderful it is, so that we can get as many people signed up and using it as possible.
Yeah, and we're gonna be, we have kind of a whole database of people who have signed up for our newsletter so far, and so we'll be sending out an email after this, as we know not everyone could attend today, and we'll be asking people to sign up and sharing kind of this recording with them. And then, yeah, if you have anyone who you think would like to join this, please send in their information, please forward them the email or send us their information. And then as we go through some of the other work that we're doing, through like the TIS analysis that Shayna is doing and identifying where work is being done in other universities around the US, we'll be reaching out to people at other universities as well. And if you have anyone who you think that we should be reaching out to, please let us know. Okay, I'm going to keep going then. At first glance, can you see anything that's missing? We've kind of probably already covered this, so I'll keep going. But again, we did start that forum within the portal, so please let us know, and we'll use that feedback as we do updates. Okay, so we are nearing the end. I am cognizant of time. So other announcements, we are really excited that we will be hosting I should have put this on there, but the UMERC METS Summit will be hosted in conjunction with OREC this year. That'll be September 13th and 14th for the UMERC METS conference, and then September 15th, I believe. Let me just make sure I'm giving you the right dates for OREC. So we are super excited to be working with both of those groups. Yeah, that's correct. So September 13th through 15th. We're excited to be working with both of those groups to have our first annual summit. We will be putting the call for abstracts out very, very soon. We were trying to get it done this week or for this workshop, but we're still waiting on our our submission software to come through. So we will be putting that out very shortly. So watch for that announcement. And then also on May 19th, we will be hosting, I didn't finish writing what I meant to write. We'll be hosting an ocean observation workshop. Shayna, I don't know if you want to say any more about that.
Yeah, so everyone who signed up for our newsletter will get an announcement soon, but on May 19th, we're going to have an exciting workshop, which is going to be bringing together a community of people who are working on ocean observing and developers in the marine energy sector to try to understand the needs of each community and to figure out where there could be some co-design possibilities for powering ocean observing. So we've got a really great panel for that, and some more information is going to be coming to you very soon.
Yeah, I'm in the process of making an event within the portal, so you should see that hopefully by the end of today. And I am really excited for that. We had somebody, actually Jack, who's on here, reach out to Shayna saying that he wanted to help put together this workshop, and I'm excited because we have, I think, developers as far as ocean ops technology developers, and we have end users on it, and I think kind of anywhere in between too. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you, Jack. And if anyone else has ideas for workshops or wants to collaborate on a workshop, we would be delighted to help you on that. So please reach out to us if you have any ideas. So I think that is pretty much it. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in here. Otherwise, we can be on with our days. So we really appreciate everyone joining. Again, we know that there's a lot going on, so hopefully you will enjoy using the portal and let us know how we can make it useful. That's what we're here for, and that's what we're trying to do, is make it something that is useful for you. So
yeah, and thank you to everyone for all of your input in the earlier workshops. It's really, I think the success of this portal is really due to the community engagement. So thank you all.